getting back into into daily and I guess I don't want to say intense, but like a true yoga practice. It's been a little over a week since I got my um, knee injections for my hypermobility, so needed to take it easy. But like as this week has been going on, I'm realizing like yes, I have been doing the things and checking off boxes and I'm fighting for the life that I want, but like it's time to get in it. So go in the present, celebrating the peak joys of the harvest and summer, um, and and like the strawberry moon energy, right? Of like the crops from the spring have shown, and though it is uncomfortable, right? Like time keeps moving, and you could be here and celebrating, but like it keeps floating on. And so getting in that energy, knowing that a new moon is coming, right? So literally continuing the cycle. Um, and this moon we're approaching is the buck moon. Um, literally, what a interesting concept, right? Of where the it's taken from like deer, right? And then this is when the male deer start growing in their antlers, and it's much like teething, where you see when teeth are coming out of a baby's gums, how it starts to irritate them. Imagine that same pain when deer are literally having um, horns push through their skull, right? Like from their skull out, and it's a part of the cycle, right? It's like of the growing pains of being a deer, much like the growing pains of being a human, and where it's an uncomfortable cycle, right? But like it's also kind of like a rite of passage, like a coming of age, kind of, right? The same way when you lose your first set of teeth, right? And everyone's like, oh, you lost your baby teeth? Oh, gummy. Oh, gappy. Oh, do you want your two front teeth for Christmas, right? Like that too, part of coming of age thing. And, right, like I find it so interesting of how different cultures even acknowledge that coming of age, right? And how in the United States we have the tooth fairy comes in while you're sleeping, takes your teeth, and gives you money for it, right? Very interesting celebration. I don't know if it's tied to capitalism. I'll look into it. But so interesting how that is the coming of age practice, where in other cultures, they bury their teeth in their front yard, right? And so it's crazy. It's interesting to think of how that universal journey is acknowledged, and then at the same time, right? How that coming of age also symbolizes so many things. It could symbolize like more responsibility in the house. Traditionally, right, more responsibility for the community, hunting, gathering, taking your own like journey and quest and doing it by yourself with all the skills that you've learned along the way, right? Like there's so many different coming of age scenarios that we all face, and I think that this for me is another kind of coming of age journey where yes, the last 9 months 9-ish months have been something totally unplanned, something I didn't see coming, and wasn't, you know, fully ready for, but like it's everything that it's also allowed me the opportunity to do everything that I've ever wanted. And with that, I needed to go through that initial phase and learning what it is like, learn like my legs, right? Like you guys have seen videos of deer when they're first learning to stand, right? They're like all wobbly, right? So sometimes in life, like you have to allow yourself to be that beginner and wobble a little bit before you take it any further and keep growing into that next phase, right? So feeling at that place where I'm ready to go into the next phase, but I do need a little bit more energy beyond what like the sun salutation was able to give. So moving into this next phase, I'm really going to focus on warrior poses as well, and then see how that kind of shifts the energy where you're moving into these poses that are not just prideful, but these poses that are strong and decisive and grounded, right? Like to be a warrior, you are going to have to make decisions, whether real time or like no, all real time. And also the idea of a warrior used to be like my body against somebody's body, right? So really focusing on how I can use yoga to build that internal feeling of what I believe it is to be a warrior, so that I can keep going harder for what's coming next. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Today's, this week's sequence will be dedicated to the